The Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Mr Speaker, in 2008, the new government started off with so much promise. Mr Key had more hair, Bill English was less grey, and Jerry Brownlee was less well-rounded. Today, 36% of the then National Party caucus is gone.
That's right.
36%. In fact, you could say that it would be safer to be a soldier on the Western Front in World War I than being a National Party MP under John Key. So let's dispose of the first illusion, which is that John Key is a manager. John Key is a manager, in terms of politics, is a manager in the same way that Genghis Khan was an organiser of diplomacy. History, tradition and honour, you can flag it. And speaking of a flag, what do we have for the massive $26 million that is going towards this as a minimum? Forget about all the other changes that will have to be made. 40 designs, many featuring an albino silver fern, as though we are the only country in the world that's got a silver fern. Now, the design artist or satirist John Oliver on US TV was lampooning it. And so are the Australians. They say we're boring. They know that in 1902 we designed our present flag and they copied ours. And our response from New Zealand First is, listen, if you want to be dingoistic, go and get your own flag.
That's right.
Don't try and steal ours. Now, you know something? What did Mr Key promise the New Zealanders on the sale of state assets? Well, he said they were going to go to mum and dad Kiwi investors. That was demonstrably false. He knew it wasn't true, but he said it anyway. And then they started that fund, which was going to go towards hospitals and schools and roads. All the feel-good promises that people like Morris Williamson were compelled to make, even though very reluctantly. The Future Investment Fund. Then all of a sudden, one OIO request, out it comes. Hello. They are not using the money on New Zealand assets. They are committing over 700 New Zealand dollars to a Chinese-led bank. And then, of course, you get the kind of commentariat who thinks this is all good. They can't give us the earnings, likely dividends. No, they can't give us a thing. But Mr. Key said it was fantastic because it would build infrastructure all over Asia. Well, yeah, down in the Wairarapa, up in Northern, down on the West Coast, all starving in Gisborne, Poverty Bay, Hawke's Bay for infrastructure, roads, and rural development funds and things like broadband, super fast broadband, cell towers, single lane bridges. No, Mr. Key, this patriot from Merrill Lynch, he finds infrastructural investment in Asia more worthy. What a letdown. And then, of course, how's the Northern Office going? The Northern Office is going the same way it was when you turned up at one of our campaigns in Kaipara, and we took that poor lad to the cleaners. We gave him a lesson in heartland politics. They were so embarrassed they were skulking out the back door, hiding behind the tea ladies, and the tea ladies were trying to get away from them. They didn't want to be contaminated. Instead of saying, thank you, Winston, is that how it's done? No, still as arrogant. Still not telling his next-door neighbour that she's gone next time. Still not telling the next-door neighbour from Whangarei that he's gone next time. Oh, believe me, I tell you what, I know from the communications from National Party stalwarts that it's all over Rover. And they know there's one party that understands heartland New Zealand. It's in our name. It's New Zealand First. Now, let me ask you this question here. Why on the TPPA did Mr. Key not trust the New Zealand people? You see, the United States knows that it will wait till the presidential elections. The Canadians are saying it'll be after their election. And the Malaysians say they'll go to their parliament. Oh, no, but not Mr. Key. Apparently, it is adult to negotiate that way, and I've never seen a trade minister so deflated as today.
Oh, yeah.
He's been told, listen, sunshine, your arrogance is costing us votes.
That's right.
So you better start being humble. This is impossible for that sort of character. But that was the weakest, most unemotive, uncommitted speech he's ever made. And yet you flattery to say that we had this marvellous progress because of free trade deals. Australia never had a free trade deal with China for most of that time, and yet exponentially their trade went up higher. Let's stop this bunkum from somebody who's been on the International Trade Fest up against the wine bar for all these years and he thinks he knows better than the rest of us. I just want to close by saying this. Soon, this government is going to be gone by lunchtime, and thank you, Morris.
The Honourable Morris Williamson.